and welcome to my creative space. Thank you so much for being here today. Welcome to another DIY video. Before I get started, I want to give 1,000 thanks. Yes, I made it to 1,000 subscribers and I am so grateful and thankful that you are part of this creative squad. In today's video, I have 2 DIYs that are great for organizing. So without further ado, let's get started. Taking 4 back scratchers and 2 wire baskets, and I'm gonna start by removing the tags. Now that I have them all ready to go, I actually only needed to trim 2 of them. I don't know why I did 4, but I am marking exactly where I need to cut because I don't need the part that you would use to scratch. Once I had them ready, I took them outside and I trimmed them with a hacksaw. Now I'm taking the little wire baskets to see exactly where I want them to sit and how much I need to cut out of the other 2 sticks. And as you can see, I'm gonna grab a pencil and mark exactly where I need to cut. And then I will mark the second stick and take it outside to trim it with a hacksaw again. Once they are cut to the size I need them, I will be taking this acrylic white paint and I will be painting my sticks in this color with a brush. Now I'm gonna let my sticks dry, and in the meantime I'm gonna take this black chalk paint, my 2 wire baskets, and I will be painting them black. Now you could leave them the color they are, but I really wanted them to be black, so that's why I'm gonna paint them. It's a little bit more work, but I think they look amazing once they are done. Once my soon-to-be ladder pieces were dry, I picked up this wax, the Waverly Antique Wax from Walmart over the weekend, and I was really excited to use it. I've seen videos where people use it, so I really wanted to get myself some. So I picked it up and I started applying it with this brush. I think it turns out really good. I also went in with a sanding sponge and kind of sand it down a little bit just to give it that more distressed look, and then I go back with some more wax where I think it needs it, and I really love how this turns out. I end up doing the exact same thing to all the pieces. It is the time to start building our ladder, and here is what I'm doing. I'm trying to see where I want my horizontal pieces to be, and I do end up going for gluing them to the back. Now I'm taking my wire basket just to make sure that where the horizontal pieces are laying, my baskets are going to fit in there fine. And I'm gonna be using some hot glue to glue my pieces together. The glue, I don't know if it was because of the paint, but the glue, I had to add a lot of hot glue in there basically, because they kind of came apart with that very little glue that I put on there, and you will see in a second what else I do. Now I pull my sticks to the edge of the table to see, or I guess help it get both pieces even. And then I put my baskets back on there just to make sure that they are going to have enough space between each other. And once I have my second piece glued down, I grab my ruler and measure each side just to make sure that they are evenly glued on there. And yeah, so I do that to the top and the bottom just to make sure it's even. And once I am done doing that, I move on to grabbing some ute rope to extra secure my ladder. As I told you earlier, I had a little bit of trouble with the ladder staying together even after I added a lot of glue. So I go back with some ute rope, and basically I add some glue to the back and then glue my ute rope on there. and once I go to crisscross it, I add some more glue to secure my U-rope on there again, just to make sure that everything's gonna be tight and secure. And I basically just keep wrapping it around until I finish, and then I will tie it on the back with a knot and some hot glue, and that would be it. And I will be doing that to all the 4 sides. To create the hangers of this basket, I had this suction cup hooks that I got from the Dollar Tree a while ago, and I end up taking 2 for each basket and removing the actual suction part of it and just leaving the hook itself. And I end up using the same black paint that I used to paint my basket to paint both of my hooks. Once I had them dry and ready to go, I took a piece of U-rope and I tie it on the hook first, and then once I have it tied at the bottom, I am going to take my wire basket and I will basically wrap it and tie it on here until it's secure. Once I finish wrapping it on there, I will tie it with a couple of knots, and once I feel like it's secure, I will add some hot glue on there and trim the extra pieces of U-rope that will not be needed. I will be doing the exact same thing to both baskets, and once they are all hung on this ladder, here is the end result. I love how this ladder turned out. For this project, I will be taking 2 of these chain plant hangers and 2 of these rectangular wire baskets from the Dollar Tree, and I'm gonna start by opening one and hang them onto the first basket just to see if the chains on this are good length for me, and they turned out to be perfect. Next, I take the second basket and the second chain, and I basically start by removing the hook off of this because I will not be using that for this basket. I just took my pliers, and the little chains on there are really easy to remove. And once I have removed them, I am going to start hooking them onto the wire basket to see if the length on these is okay. And I found them to be a little bit longer than what I wanted them to be, so I end up taking my pliers again and basically removing the part of the chain that I won't be using. And once I have the first one, I take the other 2 chains and just measure exactly what part I need to remove off of the other 2. Once all my 3 chains are ready to go, I take them again and I started hooking them to the wire basket, and so only one side has the little hook on there. For the other end, I basically have to open up the little chain on there, the little ring I guess, and then put it back on there, hooking it onto the wire basket. As you can see, I just open it up a little bit and then add it to the wire basket, close that up, and then you have them ready to go. This is what the wire basket looks like. Now I'm gonna remove the hooks off of these because it's time to paint my basket. Again, you could leave them this color, but I wanted them to match with my chain, so I end up going with black paint and painting my basket with this. Once my wire baskets are dry, I move on to the nautical rope. I decided to add some nautical rope on the top edge of this basket because I felt like it gave them a nicer look. So all I do is just wrap it around, and I want to say I do like 3 loops on each of the little spaces, and I go in there and tie it at the beginning, make a knot on there to make sure that it's not going to be moving around. I end up using 1.5 packages of this nautical rope from the Dollar Tree, so I end up using a total of 3, 1.5 for each basket. And this is what it's looking like so far. I keep going, and I did record when I finished wrapping the first rope on there, but it didn't show on the video. I am so sorry. I didn't notice that the camera was not pointing at my hands, but this is basically what I end up doing to seal it, and it's technically what I did for the other. When I finished wrapping the first rope, I just added some hot glue in there and wrap it on there to help it stay in place, and I kind of unravel the end so it can be thinner, and then I can go in with another round of the rope on top of it to secure it. And then once that is that, or I guess I just added a little bit more hot glue, and then I turn it over and I trim it down, and I end up gluing that down with some hot glue, and this is what it's looking like so far. I go off camera to finish my second basket. Here is both baskets ready to go. Now all that's left is to hook them onto each other, and here is the end result. I love how these baskets turned out. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Also, don't forget to subscribe and join my creative squad, and I will see you on my next DIY. Bye!